paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe, and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, it's all right, refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying. I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And yes,
I don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
Well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Brainstorm Brewery, your favorite Riftbound podcast. We're here to talk about Riftbound finance, Riftbound regional that happened, and all things coming out of the Rift. Corbin, you do any summoning lately?
I'm a bit of a summoner myself. As a matter of fact, it's been not even 12 hours since I played Summoner's Rift. Does that count?
That counts. That counts, brother. As long as it's a Riot property, we are enthusiastic about it. And you know, get on legendsofruneterra.com, our sponsor.
Legends of Runeterra band. Is Legend of Runeterra still exist?
The game still exists. It is mostly focused on sort of a Slay the Spire PvE roguelike experience, which breaks my heart a little bit because I don't think that game is as well suited to that as it is to PvP and sort of like a competitive digital card game. I realize I am a bit of a boomer in the way that I enjoy that game. I actually reopened it and spent 30 minutes waiting for it to load and download things when I was on the train back from Milwaukee, and I did a single PvE challenge, was less than thrilled at the subpar balancing and all that stuff, and just kind of closed it and went back to playing other games on the train as I watched the American countryside pass me by.
Yeah, this was a big deal for me. I learned you can take a train from Chicago to Syracuse because DJ started talking about a sleeper car, and I was like, "What the hell? You can just sleep on a train? You can
Corbin,
get your own
Google
ass
George
car?"
Pullman, and we'll be back in 10 minutes.
What is a George Pullman?
Speaking of racism,
Is that a
To
grill?
bring things full circle here.
is that is that a grill?
You got your pour and your pull and
Is that a grill? Is crazy work.
Speaking of Runeterra, the Legends of Runeterra World Champion won the Riftbound Regional over the weekend.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How many world championships did Runeterra have? I don't actually.
One?
wait, what?
Maybe one. That sounds
It
about
does
Guy who
exist?
What? No.
It does exist?
What do you mean?
Runeterra?
Legends of
Legends of Runeterra, the former Legends of Runeterra World Champion back when they
tried.
Okay,
They
I was
tried
like,
to have a competitive scene and then
right.
axed
But
it.
like the game is gone and dead, right?
Correct.
No, you
Okay,
can still
yeah.
The guy who was their former world champion showed up and did the full LSV, 13-0 the Swiss, sweep the top
Oh, wow.
8. Didn't lose a match on the weekend. Lost like 4 games total or something. Just absolutely dominated the tournament.
Didn't LSV
Turns
not
out-
win that event, right? Berlin? Is that what it was?
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he did not win that event. Oh, no,
This
that
guy
was
did
San
better than
Diego.
that then.
That was San Diego, and Tom the Boss Ross won. Right? Or he top 8'd with that deck anyway. Who won that?
Probably. You're the Pro Tour historian at this point.
Well, okay, let me actually think then. That was San Diego. It was won by Naya Slayer. I don't think it was either of those people, though. I think it was a European player.
Naya Slayer?
Yeah, the Stoneforge deck.
Yeah.
Whatever. That it was the
Oh, like a
Stoneforge.
Baneslayer Angel.
Well, right, yeah. I don't remember if that's actually what it's called or even if it played that at the time.
They called it
So
Boss Naya.
Yeah, it was the Stoneforge Naya deck. But I don't believe it was won by that. Let's find out. Pro Tour
It was San Diego.
San Diego 2010, I believe. Oh, I'm so
Simon
close.
Gortzen won that one.
So close.
Simon Gortzen.
So close. I could not. I almost said Simon. Almost said Simon. I'm sorry, Simon. I didn't mean to forget. I got everything else about that correct, though, and I was right. It was a European. Yeah, Kyle Bogamez got second. Luis lost in the semis with Boss Naya.
What an insane tournament. That top 8, looking back at it, is just like...
Yeah, here, I'm gonna read through this real quick. Simon Gortson on Jund, Kyle Bogomez on Jund in the finals, LSV on Bosnia, Craig Wesco on, it's White Weenie, Daniel Grafensteiner, Yoshihiko Ikawa. After that, and an Angels and a Jund deck they were playing, and then Jurin Canis and Niels Vienne, mono red aggro, and what is this, open filigree?
Oh, that's
Architects of
Filigree Angel.
Oh my gosh, what a cool top 8.
What a sick format. Shards of Alara Standard was incredible. It wasn't until Shards rotated that Standard got kind of stinky again.
That's when I started playing competitive Magic, and I was grinding PTQs with Naya decks back in that era. It was really fun.
I would love a return to Alara.
The very brief period where it was like Shards through Rise of the Eldrazi, I think, was really cool.
That was what was that? Like Valakut ramp, kind of?
No,
like
Primeval Titan didn't get printed until...
It was M11.
Yeah, it was right before Scars of Mirrodin this, so I think it came after Rise of the Eldrazi.
Okay.
But it was like before M11. It was Shards through Rise.
You could still summoning trap like your Eldrazi's though.
Oh, I played that deck. Sure. I played that deck.
Overgrown Battlement.
I almost went to Nationals with that deck.
Nest Invader, Colony Heart Expedition.
That deck was
Spreading
incredible.
Seas deck was still good there. I remember playing against a blue-white control deck with Everflowing Chalices that was trying to cast Eldrazi.
I think my favorite Standard deck ever that I played personally was the Vengevine Naya deck with Fauna Shaman.
Yeah,
from around,
Cunning Spark Mage, Stoneforge, Basilisk Collar.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun. Yes. Yeah. And until you played against Jund and they just
Bloodbraid Vengevine, baby.
Yes, it was so good. But the alternative, like, I remember losing in the top 8 of some PTQ to Jund because they just go, Putrid Leech, Sprouting Thrynax, Bloodbraid, Sarkin the Mad. And that's a pretty rough, it's a lot of dragons.
There was a really cool extended deck in that era that was like Fauna Shaman, Vengevine, Demigod of Revenge, Bloodbraid Elf.
Yeah, I remember that. Wow. We're so old. Okay.
We are so old. For those kids at home who don't know what extended is, it's like if Pioneer was different.
That is right, though. That is where in the sort of hierarchy it sat. Well, and welcome into Brainstorm Brewery, everyone, officially. Appreciate you all joining us. Over the weekend, it was quite eventful for all of us. In fact, DJ was at an event. I was covering 3 events from my house: the Regional Championship in the United States, Regional Championship in Canada, and the Arena Championship going on. So I think we did the math on it. That was like something like $500,000 in prizes that were given out.
I was sitting at home watching the Riftbound Regional, which also gave out about $500,000 in prizes. One tournament, by the way.
BTW. I was looking at a little bit of that coverage, and I saw that, like, I forget which champions, but there was like 3 or 4 champions that did not day 2, but if you were that champion, you still could get your medal card, so you could, like, win more than the first place winner if you were just the best Garrett in the room, which is just so lovely.
I did see this going around the internet, though. There is one rather large, not unexpected, but still a complication to this system, is that you end up with people straight up bribing people or whatever for wins in round 10 in the 5 and 5 bracket or 4 and 5 bracket. And that is not a good thing.
No, that's bad for sure. What is good, though, is that 1/3 of the metagame was unplayable decks. They've managed to moneyball rebuilding the aggregate format diversity, despite there being like 3 dominant decks. The 3 dominant decks made up like 30% of the field or something, because like the 5th most played deck was Ari, which is unplayable because the Ari metal card's worth infinite money. They've managed to create metagame diversity through financial incentive. That's the capitalist dream, baby.
Yeah, I was going to say that's forced metagame diversity
How is that different than just Wizards
requiring
obscuring,
people,
obscuring like data or whatever?
or Wizards requiring people like they did in the first 5 years of the game to play with cards from each set.
But you're not required to, right? This is
I agree.
If you play a cool off-meta thing and do decently well with it, you get this awesome prize.
Sure. Incentivize diversity rather than force diversity, but it's not a replacement for actual balance.
Like, what if Wizards did this, where it's like, it's harder to do because there's no legend cards, but it's like,
this is what people would do. They would say that Wizards is incentivizing diversity rather than actually designing a balanced metagame. Is exactly what they would say.
and Magic players would definitely complain about that. That is true.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking like best finisher of each color combination gets like a Shockland or Triome best of card.
Yeah, like the idea of it is awesome in my opinion. It just obviously comes with some
or like a
amount
basic
of,
land that if you're the monocolor gamer, like you just get like this sick planes.
Yeah, like
I
think as Riftbound is doing it, like I think it is awesome. Like it's great. It's not perfect, but it comes with its own set of issues. But it is a really cool idea, and especially in a world. It also probably helps keep the already unreasonable prices somewhat reasonable because you don't have people just dialing in on those three decks.
Yeah, like
although it's weird because
would the best deck have been if half the room was on it because there was no reason not to play. Yeah,
exactly.
Turns out the best deck wasn't the best deck, but anyways, that's beside the point.
Well, I was just gonna say it's an interesting experience, I think, to know that you're going to play a diverse field, but only one of three decks are going to win the tournament. I don't know whether it's actually true or not, but based on what you're saying, it's like...
I mean, it also encourages good players to explore other options. Like, the player who won the tournament or whatever, probably, if it wasn't for that incentive structure, might not have tested all the top legends, might have just been like, well, Draven's the best, so I'll play this deck, right?
True.
But instead, like people explore other options because there's a chance that you can, top 64 and still get the big prize if you're playing something slightly off meta. Like the best deck was purple and red, right? And someone just played the other purple red legend with the same deck. So your deck was like a slightly worse version of it. And there's like 50 people who did that, right? That's cool. The actual answer is that prize cards are awesome. And that's why Eternal Weekend is the best Magic tournament, is because it has prize cards.
Yeah. I mean, Wizards obviously has leaned into this more with the Pro Tour promos, which obviously can be quite expensive. Yes. And they did those, I don't even remember what event they came out of. The Secret Lair Showdown, maybe? The Dark Rituals.
The Dark Ritual, the Ragavans, but
like... The Brainstorms, question mark? Was there Brainstorms?
Yeah, the Brainstorms, the Murktide, but like they...
The thing where there's only 4 of them in the world. That one. Yeah.
That's Brainstorm and Dark Ritual.
Yeah. That's huge, right? Like those were huge EV tournaments because of that, as opposed to giving people a $50 promo card or even a $200 promo card.
Air fryer.
Okay.
Corbin, for
I get it. Yes, I get it.
Do you know what that's from?
No, is it from everything?
There was a large Yu-Gi-Oh tournament for which the prize was an air fryer.
Thank you.
I see.
Oh, did you see the Beyblade thing recently? Hang on. Riftbound thinks they're hot shit with their metal cards. Beyblade's giving out Honda Civics. Just want to let everyone know.
Okay, I love this headline. DJ sent us this headline. Beyblade X tournament giving away Honda Civic. But this is apparently very normal for competitive Beyblade players. Just winning cars all over the place. Honda Civics. Red Line Rumble is a Beyblade X tournament series that will bring the action to Michigan. This is some Jason ass shit here. Ypsilanti, Michigan on April 12th. It's your usual local with a $40 entry fee, 6 rounds of Swiss play, and a top 16 single elimination bracket for added intensity. However, this comes with the chance to win an old car. Wait, it's not even new?
Wait.
It's a used Honda Civic?
With a Crystal Drake on card keys, which I believe is a Beyblade. You get like a crystal version of the Beyblade on the keychain.
Yeah.
And I believe the other second, third, and fourth place are like rare Beyblades, which is awesome.
Other prizes have included motorcycles, PlayStation 5s, a phone, and more. Didn't Sam Black win a car? Sam Black won a car.
Yeah, that's true.
He didn't
Imagine
take it.
getting
but-
second and you have to watch the winner just do donuts in the parking lot.
Yeah, imagine the winner having to pay taxes on that.
You
Sam
get
Black
a
took
car,
it.
you get a Beyblade, you get a Beyblade, you don't get a
Sam-
car, you don't
yeah.
get a car, you don't get a car.
Sam Black took the money. That's what you're supposed to do. I wonder if that's an option here.
Imagine winning a Beyblade tournament and getting an iPhone 17.
This, there's a Honda Click 125 coming up in May.
This is wild. There's so many of them. This is what they give away.
Let's host a Magic tournament, but if you win first place, you get health insurance for a year. Like, how weird can we get with these prizes?
Well, they did that. They did that, Cass.
What?
They did a Magic tournament for health insurance?
What do you think the MPL was?
Ooh.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough, buddy. I remember they had to stream the matches that were like the play-ins to see. I remember the look on, I believe it was Canister's face when he realized that he was out of a job because he lost a match of Magic.
Was not a good time.
They had to have played that clip over and over again in some boardroom being like, guys, this can't keep happening. Like, I've seen a lot of sad, is Canister Polish?
I believe that's correct.
Okay, I've seen a lot of sad Polish people in my life. I've never seen one that sad before.
Yeah, it was brutal making them stream all of their own matches there.
Like,
Which is
making
a
them
thing.
stream.
They were contractually obligated to, but now there's so many things going into this. Like the MPL, the reason, like, for those who don't know, the Magic Pro League, when they decided we're esports, was a full-time salaried job that with contractual set of obligations to stream and do other things that Wizards had for their top level. They tried to create their own LCS, right? Their own pro league of Magic players. They did it at the expense of literally every other Magic player who did not have. So people were playing in tournaments where, yes, if you won, you were looking at 2 years of $100,000 a year job or whatever it was, which it was something like that.
Yeah.
Of streaming and playing Magic. And if you lost, good luck, I guess. Yeah. At that time, players were utilizing sports therapists. That's a thing I've reported. Like, it was people, like, I've talked to Brad Nelson a bunch about it. Like, he was like, yeah, I was literally playing a match for like $500,000 or whatever it is, right? $250,000. Like, how that destroys your brain. Like,
Yep.
So anyway,
Bring back shadow games.
I mean,
If we can get people playing for their souls and their lives of their loved ones, then like $250K doesn't seem that bad.
good point, TJ.
Just
Good point, Pegasus over here.
yeah.
okay. So like for the Yu-Gi-Oh fans out there,
He's gonna say Pegasus they did nothing wrong. Here we go.
No.
about
There's
to get
another detail
canceled.
about Maximilian Pegasus that I want to rant about for like 5 minutes. If like even if you're not an active Yu-Gi-Oh player, you've heard of it. You probably know the memes. You know like some of the characters, right? You know of Maximilian Pegasus, the old guy with the Millennium Eye who like puppeteers this tournament on an island, Survivor style, to like get people to Corbin. That man is 24 years old.
Oh yeah, that is what?
Maximilian Pegasus in the
His
manga.
wife, he got married. His wife died or something.
17.
Like,
They were 17 in the manga. Canonically, he met Celia or whatever her name was when
God,
they were
DJ knows too much
17.
about this.
She immediately died. He lost the love of his life, which caused him to travel the world to ancient Egypt to make duel monsters. That man is 24 in the manga.
That's
Just
awesome.
wanna. It's great.
get your goals up. I guess I'm so confused. He created duel monsters.
Yes, he made the card
The
game like
voice?
in.
Okay,
In
so
the-
in the show, he is. How long's duel monsters existed then?
Like a few years.
Oh, it's not a thing that's always existed.
It is
Wait.
the hot new card game that like
Oh.
takes
This is
over
topical.
because the
guy
prequel to
who
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Go ahead.
DJ.
Because the prequel to Yu-Gi-Oh is Yu-Gi-Oh! Zero or whatever, where like the original like Yu-Gi-Oh! The Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga was originally just like a thing of just games. It was just like Yami Yugi possessed it. Like it was just like a whole like shadow game. There were just like a bunch of different like penalty games where it involved like gambling or dice or like ancient Chinese card games or whatever. Like there was like a weekly game that he would play in the manga that was not a card. Like one time it was like Dungeons and Dragons adjacent kind of whatever, and then like it just slowly the Duel Monsters chapter got involved. People loved it, and he like rode on it from there.
It's the robot rally of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, sure.
Robo Rally, right? Is that the game Garfield was trying to make?
We've brought this full circle, by the way, because the English voice actor for Maximilian Pegasus is Darren Dunstan, who is also known for voicing Master Splinter in the 2003 Turtles animated series.
Yep.
Which I do believe is also the person who voiced one of the goblins for the Lorwyn thing, right?
There's a lot of crossover between the Turtles voiceovers and Yu-Gi-Oh! There's a lot.
But
Magic.
Isn't the voice of Splinter, or was it Shredder who is the goblin for Magic?
It was Splinter.
Was Splinter? So Darren Dunstan was one of the goblins?
Right? Or was it Shredder? I thought it was Splinter, yeah.
It might have been Shredder, because I'm not seeing the voice credit for this. Let's find out. Well, either way, it's possible that everything has come full circle and we're geniuses and we can see the ley lines of the world.
With our Millennium eyes.
Only on Brainstorm Brewery, your favorite Riftbound podcast.
Well, speaking of, not Riftbound. I'm not going to lie, this is not about Riftbound.
It's about magic.
It is. It's about Ban, because that is the best place to get magic finance information. Any magic finance information you want. In fact, we spent a bit of time before the show talking about various ways in which it's been useful for us in our recent collection buys. So that may or may not make its way into after hours. But for now, you should just go check out MTG Ban, because it is how you can get all the finer tools to look at data.
It's so much harder to buy other card games without Ban. Like
yes,
having
that's
Ban
what I was
for
getting
Magic
at.
Makes it so much harder to just like be confident and quick and efficient at buying other card games. I have tried to learn how to buy other card games and like, should I dabble in One Piece or Lorcana or Riftbound or whatever? Should I slightly expand my business even when it's just high-end cards? Like, should I just deal with the things that are the big potatoes that are worth the money? I don't want to deal with like One Piece bulk or whatever, but maybe it's worth it if like somebody has this $500 One Piece card. Is it easier to find copies? No, it's way harder because you have to look at every data point individually for every card, and it's a nightmare with high-end stuff. It's just absolute. Like, one of the reasons Magic is so successful is because we have a Scryfall. We have an MTG JSON, which is like some tech database thingy that lets Magic websites do Magic things, and like that just does not exist for other card games, and it's crazy.
That is hard to think about, actually. I do take for granted a lot of the institutional tools we have. Scryfall, Ban, all of these things, right? Like, all of these tools that have existed for a number of years. I mean, we were looking at MTG Top 8 earlier.
One of the actual things that's the biggest upside to me, like, we have good spoiler aggregators, and actually the spoilers channel in the band Discord is my favorite place to check for spoilers because that stuff is on there instantly. And
there's no discussion allowed. The discussion's in another channel. It's just card images, and you have to talk about them elsewhere. It is great.
The only way to find Pokemon spoilers as cards are being spoiled in Japan is to go to one French person's Twitter account who lives in Japan, who posts the translations at like 2 a.m. Eastern time. That's the only place to find Pokemon spoilers.
It's just this. Like, this is what our Scryfall is.
Yep.
It's just that meme
that
I'm gonna put on camera, that JJ will put on camera for our watchers at youtube.com/Brainstorm Brewery. It's just that meme.
It's just Scryfall.
Scryfall is the linchpin that holds everything together.
That's true, though.
Bands run on Scryfall. Like, you can just type in dual S:3ED to get all your dual land prices. That is one of the most recent things I used it for, because I made an offer on a set of 40 dual lands, and it's like, if I could go to TCG Player and type each of these out individually and then filter for condition each time, because TCG Player resets the condition every time you search, which is maddening. But no, I can just do one single search. It's all on one page. Every Card Kingdom Biolist offer for every condition, every Strike Zone offer, every Star City offer, all the TCG lows for all the varying conditions. It's just so nice. You can use it for so many different collection buys. Anytime somebody sends me a mana box list or a Moxfield like, it can do web pages. Somebody can just send you their deck list on Moxfield. It doesn't have to be a CSV. You can just like copy and paste a URL to Google Sheets or whatever, and Ban will just do its magic thingy and pull up the buy list aggregate of all of the card prices. It is incredible.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Well, there you go, everybody. Go check that out. And now you can check out these Breaking Bolt.
Breaking Bolt time.
Because I'm going to start this thing off, and I know you all are probably not going to get this one because it is a colorless card from Lore When Eclipsed.
Last time you said that, didn't we?
What?
Furdock Core?
Nope, but that card is cool. It might be Breaking Bolt in the future. Nope, also a fun one.
What rarity is it, you say?
It's a rarity. Or it's not.
Is it a basic land?
It is not the Chronic. It's not a rare. It's a
token.
Is it Stalactite, the equipment that gives all creature types? Is it the 5-mana 3/3 flyer that exiles cards from the graveyard to gain 3 life?
It's a token.
Mutavault token.
It is the Mutavault token.
Token.
It's the Mutavault token. It's $2.
Tokens aren't cards.
Every time Corbin says you're not going to get this, it's going to be guessable.
Well, like we got to work your way around to tokens, but yeah, tokens are not cards in the sense of the game rules. However, when I hold one in my hand, I am hard pressed to say I'm not holding a card. So, I don't tomato. Either way, Mutavault tokens, along with the elk on the other side, are $2.
It's an FT. It's a fungible token, not an NFT. It's a fungible token.
That's a fungible token. The foil is about $7, by the way.
I'm gonna fire off my Breaking Bulk real quick here. My Breaking Bulk is an OTJ Black Uncommon.
Shoot the Sheriff?
I did fire it off, and DJ got it in one.
Good one.
Not the Deputy, just the Sheriff. You Shoot the Sheriff has a buy list of like 25 cents. Card is seeing an uptick in play. Dimir midrange had a pretty good showing at the RC last weekend. Pull these out of your bulk, folks.
Also, don't bulk out your promo ones.
Yes.
Despite the internet telling you they're worthless and terrible and shouldn't exist, they are in fact not worthless. Not as good as they could be, but not worthless.
Magic does need to make better promos, and
I agree.
It's frustrating because I don't understand the inconsistencies.
I think that they're having to guess 9 to 12 months in advance what standard cards are going to be played for the RCQ ones, for instance.
So
and
don't
we end
pick
up
standard
with,
cards.
But
that's the easy solution is like wait.
No, it's not a solution though, because they don't the whole point is to get people to play standard. That's why the events are in standard. That's why UB goes through standard. You want to give standard promos, but they need to figure out a way to not do Emberheart Challenger when it's a $2 card and not played anymore. You
can give standard players like cards that are not good in standard that are good in other formats. You're allowed to do that.
Yes, it does not serve the goals that they are trying to accomplish with these programs.
Doesn't it? If the card's worth money, doesn't it serve that program of like getting somebody to play standard for a money card?
No, if a card is worth money, it stands to convert a standard player into modern.
Also, it's not hashtag synergy. Like, you just want it to make sense. Like, at that point, just start giving them commander promos. But we did that.
Yes,
we did that. We did pre-releases where we did commander promos, and not only do people not like it, et cetera, we end up with this world where everyone's like, "What happened to standard? How do we save standard?" Like, remember when they talked about how like play boosters were the solution because they were going to kill draft boosters forever, and we were just not going to have draft? Like, why do they're just going to kill standard if people don't play standard? Like, they're not going to go back to whatever year you thought standard was perfect. They're just going to kill it. So if you're in that, like, those meetings and you're trying to save standard or however you want to put it, like the answer is not give people commander promos. The answer is figure out how to get better at your standard promos, I think, right? Like starting by choose mythics, okay? That alone would give you a much higher shot of having a valuable promo, right?
Yeah.
I would think rares would be the sweet spot, but
the rares aren't like that's Emberheart. Like Emberheart Challenger should have been perfect. The card was heavily played. The archetype was heavily played. At one point, Emberheart Challenger was $5 or $6. You maybe think you end up with a $10 to $15 promo, but then it's standard. So within 2 months, when that's not true anymore, Emberheart Challenger is $1 and your promo is $2 or whatever.
So
right?
pick stock up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be like, and that is, for instance, Expressive Iteration is a card that was an uncommon that was really expensive that they did start doing promos of, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
yeah. Like, I don't
I feel like
disagree in
that's
theory.
the thing is the inconsistency is what's maddening. Is that like
Yeah.
they pick cards that are very good and then cards that are very bad that feel obviously very bad, and then they pick cards that are very good and then they like it's just.
They need to figure something out because the only thing that makes any sense is that they're having to guess too far in advance. That's how we had that white card that was just like wholly unplayable, but if mice was playable, it would have been good.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know?
yeah.
And like mice occasionally popped up / pops up, you know, it's like the line is so narrow for them that they might be better off just giving everyone a promo Chronicle of Victory, right? Like that's a $20 standard mythic.
Yeah.
If they made promos of that, yes, it's a commander card, but at least it's a standard card. And it would have been worth money. You know, I'm with you. Anyway.
Standard
There's a lot
GPs
of-
gave out Batterskull and everyone was okay.
Well, that's because nothing else gave out promos then.
Yeah.
Like, don't they have to make like 200 promos a year or something, right? Like, every program has a promo. Every release has a promo. There's only so much reprint equity that then has to be used for other sets as well. You know, like, imagine if there's a hierarchy of like, you know, cards we can use, like reprint equity we can use. The RCQs are probably lower in the line than the, you know, the next set release or whatever. Tough situation.
Wow.
DJ, do you want to fire off your breaking bulk?
Yeah, this one is only for Corbin to guess because I messaged Cass and gave it.
I didn't read that message for whatever it's worth.
Oh, okay,
great,
good, because
okay.
I'll need the help.
Let me see. I believe I know what the rarity of this is.
In 2 minutes, I'm clocking out for a minute.
Yeah.
by the
No,
way.
you're good.
Yeah, you're good, Cass.
All right, this is a rare from Spider-Man. It's not a reprint clearly, but it is a red rare from Spider-Man.
Gwen Stacy.
No,
Electro-Man.
no. Good guess, but no.
Electro's like $5. Yeah.
Not a creature.
Rude, but no, that's from the new set.
Shadow of the Goblin.
It is Shadow of the Goblin. Wow, you are
What is-
so good at
what
this.
What is that card?
That card is really cool, actually.
I never.
It is
I skipped Spider-Man to the best of my ability. I've never seen this one before.
Shadow of the Goblin. It is a 1 generic and a red enchantment. At the beginning of your first main phase, discard a card. If you do, you draw a card. And then, whenever you play a land or cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, this enchantment deals 1 damage to each opponent.
Oh, this is cool.
So if you cast your commander, if you play lands off of all of various like red impulsy effects where it's like exile your top cards, you can play it temporarily. Everything that's not from your hand, everything Dranith Magistrate poops on, this card will just like get him over time.
I brewed with this into Monument to Endurance and Bloodthorn Flail, which would later be adapted into a good deck.
No, this is cool. This is a neat
Card
one.
Kingdom
There's all-
Bioist is 20 cents for the base version, so it's not a bulk rare. The most expensive version is like $1.50. But this is the exact kind of card that you want your little sorting machine to pick up if you're just scanning your bulk rares for value.
They really recently moved forward, I would say, like had a big level up, if you want to put it that way, for red impulse effects or whatever we're calling them, because they just stopped being afraid to put until your next turn on the cards. which changes everything about the cards. Before, they would just say until the end. They would occasionally do that. A lot of them, though, you think about like Light Up the Stage being one of the like
Brainstorm Brewery preview card Escape from the Wilds got banned in Standard.
Yeah, like Light Up the Stage was one of the first ones that really showed how powerful like the until your next turn line can be. And that's what most of them say now. And it has really come a long way, and it's turned them into like this sort of archetype of card in, say, Limited that you actually want to get. Whereas before, they were like fine, right? But usually you'd have to get an instant one and then play it on their end step and then be able to play both of the cards in order to get a 2-for-1 out of it. Now, a lot of them are like the one in Lore 1 Eclipse that you can blight 1 and use it. You get to exile 3 until your next turn because it's a sorcery. So it's kind of like now the rate is like an instant will give you 2, a sorcery will give you 3, and they're always until the end of your next turn. And it's really changed sort of what the face of red card advantage looks like, along with the fact that red now gets mana dorks occasionally. Sort of interesting ways for the design to progress 34 years and 33 years into the game, you know? All right, I have a hypothesis for you all. I spent the weekend covering 3 events, which was really difficult, to be quite honest. I was like blowing through like Twitch streams and YouTube streams and Melee pages and deck lists and Blue Sky, and it was wild. I don't know. And like time sensitive. I really felt alive working on my computer, which is not something you often say, I guess. So that was cool. But here's the thing. I watched 3 standard events over the weekend. And despite all the talk about our new Lord and Savior Sunderflock, or all the talk about playing Doomsday Excruciator in Standard, 2 of these events were won by good old Dimir Midrange. Siren Spyglass and Kaitos and Flood Pitch Drowners and Enduring Curiosities and some
Cass has been on the Kaito train for a long time, and I
just the most
trust her judgment.
The dullest, most unimaginative, most not broken deck you can play, and yet it won 2 out of the 3 events. And this is the hypothesis. If Dimir Midrange is good, Standard is great.
For those of you who can't see, Cass is about to try to check out and get her ticket to the Riftbound Regional in Atlanta, which has extremely limited spots.
No, that's good, because I gave a perfect little thing for JJ. JJ can just come back in with whatever
She's
from that.
clasping her hands together in a praying emoji, crossing her fingers, screaming at the TV. Now she's about to touch her monitor as it looks like it's about to fail, and then pleading, praying, hands pointed to heaven, eyes closed.
I lived so many lives with those motions.
It says processing your payment. If the payment provider does not open, disable your pop-up blocker and try again. Oh, my pop-up blocker did that. Okay. Open this link. Try again. We are on the widget PayPal redirection. Okay.
Okay.
Hold up. Straight from the bank account. I don't care. I'm not futzing around trying to add my credit card.
Yep.
Let's go!
Locked it.
I saw a fist pump. I saw a fist pump.
Woo! We're in.
How do you know that you're in?
Go.
My payment process and said, you're going to Riftbound Regional Qualifier Atlanta. Thanks for your order. Going to my Gmail now.
That sounds definitive.
Eventbrite receipt.
Yeah.
I would screenshot that shit just in case. I don't know.
Oh, I'm screenshotting everything. I have a confirmation email. I'm going.
When is
there you go.
First time.
I've
never been to Atlanta.
When is the event?
April.
I got a message.
I might go to that just for fun.
We can add this on the podcast. We can have live reaction to me registering for a Riftbound event on your favorite Riftbound podcast.
Don't quit us, everyone. We're talking about Magic some.
We are talking about Magic. Good old Dimir Midrange won some events, and I've been on that train for a bit. Kaito is kind of the truth. That card's really strong. One of my dear friends has played Blue-Black Midrange in the last 2 RCQs that she played, and I think the deck is good. I do think it's good.
I mean, taking down 2 out of the 3 events, like the Arena Championship is a smaller field, obviously, but the RCs are huge. Yes. We saw Mono Green Landfall as the surprise most popular deck or best performing deck, actually, in several places. So that was pretty cool. Another evolution of standard here.
It's really interesting to see the Pro Tour metagame being like, who can do the biggest thing with elementals or landfall, to this like shift to good old just like, yeah, get your landfall, like knucklehead aggro, to Dimir midrange being the top dog. We have this really interesting cyclical metagame where like if Dimir midrange becomes the best deck, we're back to how do I Sunderflock my opponent out of the game? How do I put Roaming Throne and Vibrance on the stack?
Right.
And then once that becomes good again, then it's back to Knuckleheads. Yeah, gotcha. Then it's Dimir. Like we have a really healthy ecosystem for Standard, which is incredible to see. They just had to ban enough cards to get us there, and by God, they did it.
Grass beats water, water beats fire, fire beats grass.
Yeah, except, in this Standard metagame, though, it's not even a rock, paper, scissors metagame in the way a lot of them are.
There's Lizard and Spock.
Because what?
There's Lizard and Spock.
Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. Because like it on the one hand you have like this sort of angle of Badger Mole Cub decks, but how you beat Badger Mole Cub is not one answer. There's multiple answers to that question. And because there's multiple answers to that question, and because Badger Mole Cub decks are obviously still good in their own right, Bant Airbending made the top 4 at one of these events, etc. It just keeps, it's not A to B to C. It's A to B to C to D at the same time, and then B to E and F, and D to G and H, and so on. So there's a lot going on there. So actually pretty neat. Ninja Turtles, don't know how much it'll change things. At this point, I guess the next big event is in 2 weeks on that Ninja Turtles release weekend in Richmond, which we'll all be at. Right?
And
are you there, Cass?
I'm in Richmond, yeah.
Yes.
I'm battling Standard. I can't divulge what I'm playing just yet, but you can expect me to win that tournament, I think.
Oh,
I will also be in Richmond, and you can talk to me about Richmond, and you can talk to me about my pick of the week this week.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
Which is Heartmender. It is a weird old rare from Shadowmoor. It's a green-white creature that removes your -1/-1 counters every turn. It has Persist, so if you don't kill it every turn, it will, or kill it twice every turn, it'll just keep coming back. There's weird -1/-1 counter. It's not in the colors of the commander deck, which was white and spike, but it has slowly crept up. And I used MTG Band to determine that. I used MTG Band to look at weird old Shadowmoor cards that were drawing up in supply that have not spiked yet. Heartmender did not get reprinted. It's just a weird old little guy, and you should pay like $2 for them, and eventually you might get like $8 for them, because it's like a Kolrath Knight kind of card where like
a great pick.
It's just a weird old little guy, and now I gotta go. So thank you for listening to Brainstorm Brewery. Bye.
See you, TJ. Let's get some picks of the weekend here before we get out. Cass, what are you looking at?
My pick of the week is a Standard card. Something that actually is specifically good against the Dimir decks. It's Nova Hellkite from Edge of Eternities. The Boros Dragons deck does kind of seem to... Nova Hellkite sure does kill a Deep Cavern Bat.
Nova Hellkite is an extremely powerful card. It is probably the backbone. Like, I'm not an expert on Boros Dragons, but it seems like probably the backbone of the deck to some extent. It's just like the strongest play in many cases.
When your Boros Dragon opponent draws 1 or 0 Nova Hellkites, you feel really good about the game. If they ever draw 2, you're just like, oh, frick, oh, crap, how do I ever win?
Yeah, it's really good.
The warp mechanics turning out to be pretty strong. Who could have guessed?
It turns out the cheating mana costs pretty powerful. Who would have thought?
Warp,
yes.
Having Evoke and Warp in the same format is just like, at what point do we see the card personify the 2-mana blink spell from Mormon start seeing play, right? Like, we are playing dangerous games, and these cards were in Standard for 3 years.
That is exactly right, everything you just said. Because people are talking about abstractly how powerful Land of War Elves Badger Mole Cub decks are. And I'll point out, Land of War Elves was not doing particularly well until Badger Mole Cub came along to help it. And probably part of that reason is because of the things you just mentioned, of how powerful the other archetypes are. Like how much mana cheating is going on. And that has to be met by mana producing, right? Like at the Pro Tour, I put it like you're either trying to cheat the most mana, make the most mana, or I don't remember. I added something clever for the third one. But that's basically what the format is. And that's not bad. That's sort of the angles we're working on here. All right, I am looking this week at a card. I'm not really sure why it's starting to move, but I have noticed that it is starting to move. The Fire Crystal out of Final Fantasy a month ago was $3, and this month is, as of today, is $5.15 market price, and it hasn't had big movement. It's just literally tiny creeps up, tiny creeps down, a little more up. I don't know if this will... Yeah, go ahead.
It's because... Who's opening Final Fantasy product anymore? Exclusively people who are trying to crack collector boxes, hit the $1,000 cards, and put the rest in a box.
Yeah.
Like, fire crystals are not really being added to the supply that much.
Yeah, and I say I don't know if this is particularly good in Commander. 4 mana, your creatures have haste, your red spells cost 1 less, and you can 6 mana create a token that's a copy of a token you control, and obviously it'll have haste. So it's powerful, but every card's powerful in Commander. I'm not sure if that's pushing it. I don't know if it might have a little bit of standard play, but I don't think so.
No.
So
the card actually has a very tiny bit of standard play in exactly the Replicator Bay or repurposing Bay deck.
There's one weird deck with it, yeah.
But I think in Commander, it's just like it reduces costs, it gives your guys haste, and it makes copies. That's like 3 of the 5 things Commander players like.
That's true. I play the green one in a Commander deck, the Earth Crystal. That one, like the discounting of your spells is obviously inherently powerful, and red, doesn't have a ton of that. It doesn't have a ton of like a lot of its mana effects are, rather than rampant growth, right? They're more one-shot type effects. So something like the Fire Crystal that just sticks around is actually pretty sweet for it. All right, well, I think that does it, and I think that does it for us this week here on Brainstorm Brewery. Reminder to go check out MTG Band. Also go to our own Patreon, patreon.com/BSB, for as little as $1 or $2 a month. You can support this show, support our editor, JJ, who we made work overtime this week. So shout out to JJ. You can also get access to the Discord where we hang out. I'm always posting good picks like the Fire Crystal I find in the MTG Finance channel on the Discord. So lots of action going on there. Then you can have access to that for $1 or $2 a month. And for $5 or $10 a month, one of those levels, you can get spreadsheet access. You can get early access to the show. All of these things. And we truly appreciate our patrons for making this show possible. So thank you, everyone, for listening to Brainstorm Brewery. We'll see you next week.
Bye.